All right, howdy. We are going to go ahead and start our workshop today. My name is Chris Hunter, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I am also the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. If you don't have a copy of that and you are a roofer, if you do not have a copy of that in your hands, just let's go. I'll show you at the very end of this webinar, actually, how to get that into your hands, okay? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's get this party started. All right, here we go. All right, so this webinar, this workshop is how to double your roofing company without running ads. I know that's a huge claim, but let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm super excited about this because this is one of the biggest opportunities that I think that we have to help you double the size of your company, overnight almost, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start with a little bit of a story. All right, I talked with a very successful roofer this week, and he revealed a few things to me that he has put into place in the past year or so. And just as background, he went from around $2 million and selling 130 roofs in 2021 to around $5 million and selling, 300 roofs. That's projected. We're coming up to the end of a lot of roofers, seasons here, but we want to make sure that as you're projecting your sales, that you actually make sure that you are looking at this anyway. So he said that he's projected to around $5 million a year, and this little secret I'm going to share with you isn't honestly a secret at all. This is just stuff that you as a roofing company owner and your sales staff should be doing. Now, the other part of this is that I'm a marketer, right? I'm the chief marketing officer of Roofing Sites. I've written a book literally about marketing, okay, for roofers. What we're going to talk about today has nothing at all to do with marketing. It's really about sales and building a system for your sales that you should have in place, okay? So the biggest problem that we're faced right now, and I've got two graphs here, and these graphs actually are straight out of a case study from Harvard Business Review. They called 400 businesses, and they found out these really cool things about these businesses' sales. The very first thing is that, and this is something that we all know, right? We all know this, is that the money is in the follow-up when it comes to sales, okay? So the interesting thing here is that out of all of these companies that they surveyed, right, is that almost 60% of them didn't get back with their leads, inbound leads, for a week. That's ridiculous, in my opinion, okay? But this response time, in the companies that were actually calling back within the first 5 minutes, if you see on this next graph, they had an 8 times increase in their sales, okay? Just simply by calling back leads that came from either their website, or left a phone call for them, which it's bad that they're not picking up the phone, but they called them back within 5 minutes. They called back the people, that reached out via Facebook and Google My Business and all these different places that leads are coming in from nowadays. They called them back within 5 minutes, and they 8 times, right? They had an 8 times increase in actually getting hold of that person. And as you can see over time, right, as it goes to, 6 to 30 minutes, 31 to 60 minutes, an hour or so, it just kind of steadily drops off, right, all the way to a week. But if you look at what we just looked at here, almost 60% of those companies weren't even following up with their own leads that they're generating within a first week, okay? Okay, so let's talk about this problem number 2, right? And then that's this follow-up issue. All right, 50 to 60% of inbound leads are left completely unconverted. Okay, I hear this all the time from roofers, is that, hey, these leads are trash. Well, what really, really what is trash is the follow-up, okay, and all that. So 90% of all web forms fail to convert. 80% of all sales require 5 follow-ups after a meeting, right? 5 follow-ups at least. But 50% of those sales reps give up after the first time, after the first follow-up. Is your sales staff actually following up? Okay. 80% of buyers said no 4 times before they said yes. All right. How many times have you gotten on a call and they've said, no, we've already found somebody, right? Did you call back the next day? Hey, how did that other person work out, right? Most salespeople, according to this study, just gave up, okay, after that first time. So not so good. Now, if we look at that, if we dig a little bit further into this, okay, 80% of sales requires those 5 follow-ups, you know, but 50% give up out of the first meeting. If you look at the percentages, right, of all of the people that have given up as we contact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? If you haven't contacted, you haven't followed up with that salesperson, that sale, all right, that prospect, that potential customer, these 8 to 9 times, you're gonna lose that sale. Okay. But here's the opportunity is that if you are that salesperson that does follow up until they tell you no those 4 times, right, to leave me alone, you're more likely to get that sale. Okay. Okay, so problem number 3 here is what I call database follow-ups. These are your customer follow-ups. This is customer service, okay? So do you have a system in place to actively call your past clients every single year? Do you call? Do you send personal emails? And most importantly, and this is where it comes a little tiny bit into the marketing world, do you send an email newsletter at least once a month to stay top of mind with your prospects? Okay. Answer with most of y'all, I'm guessing is probably going to be no on every single one of this. Every single roofer that I've ever talked to, except this guy that I talked to this week, right, is honestly afraid to have this system in place to proactively call every single year. All right. And every objection that I get on this is simply they're afraid that's going to turn into customer service nightmares, you know, that they have to go back out again, they have to do something. Okay. But when you think about every single good business out there that has a good customer service database and they have great customer service, think about this. They call you, they proactively call you, right? And that's what this gentleman was doing. Okay. Number 4 problem here that I see is referral partner follow-ups. All right. Are you following up? Do you have a system in place to proactively call your referral partners every single quarter? Answer is probably no. Okay. If you think about who your referral partners are, right? These are people who have, and companies who have referred business over to you, and you want to be following up because guess what? You make money every single time that you pick up the phone to ask them, you know, how they're doing and so forth. And we're going to go through a little bit of the scripting here. Okay. Are you proactively building a Dream 100 referral partner list, right? These are the best referral partners in your market. Are you building that list constantly? My guess is no, right? You might have 1 or 2, maybe 10 referral partners. Do you have 100? Do you have 300? Okay. We're going to go through a little bit of what the Dream 100 idea is, right? Here in a little bit, but my guess is no, you probably don't have this in place. Okay. All right. So now let's just really quickly go through the who am I. My name is Chris Hunter. I am the chief marketing hero of Marketing Heroes and roofingsites.com. I live in College Station, Texas, which is 90 miles northwest of Houston. I'm a father of 3. You can see the picture here. This was taken on a camp out with my 2 scouts, my 2 Boy Scouts there. The one in the back is now an Eagle Scout. He actually cut his hair before he became an Eagle Scout. Don't ask me why. Before that, he was growing up super long. My middle son is on his way to an Eagle Scout. I'm highly involved in scouting in general and love to go camping. I've been doing search engine optimization and marketing since 1998. If you look there, before Google really launched, I was trying to figure out search engines, right? And back then it was Yahoo and so forth. But when Google came around, I started paying more attention to that. Um, I do everything that we do in my business for ourselves first. So we started when we went into business on trying to outrank our own competition here locally. For back then, I was a web design firm, or I owned a web design firm. And so I outranked everybody locally for that search term, right? And haven't really looked back since, because to me, search engine optimization is super important on being in the right place at the right time that people are searching for you. We started roofingsites.com in 2018 and have really been focusing on roofers since then, and really helping roofers get more leads and ultimately some more sales. Okay. Random fact about me: I love to brew IPAs in my garage. I have a recipe that I've brewed probably 100 different batches of the same IPA. I think I've got it super dialed in. I love hoppy beer. So, that's one of my passions there. My mission is to double the size of 100 roofing companies by 2025. Okay. That is the sole purpose of why I wrote my book here, The Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. It is the sole purpose that we are doing this webinar, is that I'm sharing my information with you. And again, this webinar has nothing to do about marketing, what our agency does, and more about sales. Okay, so in my book, I outlined, and I'm going to really quickly go through this because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but in my book, I outline the system that I've been creating for the past and really fine tuning for the past 20 years. And I call it the 4R marketing system. For the roofers, it's a 4R roofer marketing system. Okay. And it has 4 pillars. It has at the base is your reputation, because you can't do a whole heck of a lot in marketing or sales unless your reputation is solid. Reach is simple. Get in front of more people today than knew you yesterday. Resell, and again, another simple thing here is making sure that you have systems in place to resell to the people who have purchased from you before. These are 8 times more likely, people are 8 times more likely to buy from you if they had a positive experience with you in the past, right? So why don't you go back to your database time and time again? Referral, that's simple. Most businesses are built off of referrals, but yet most businesses do not have a solid referral system in place for their business, right? And so it's super important to have that system in place. Each of these 4 pillars are evergreen systems, meaning that if something stops working in any of these pillars, we simply take it out. Okay. And a simple illustration of this is in the reach pillar. You notice if you look in there, I don't have yellow pages on there, right? But yet if you went into business 20 years ago, most likely the very first thing that you did was get a yellow pages ad. Okay. Or as soon as that the sales rep came around, because they can only do that once a year, right? So yellow pages no longer work. That's been replaced by this thing called the iPhone and the Android phone, right? This $1,000 piece of machinery that sits in every person's pocket. Okay. That has completely replaced the yellow pages. Okay. So not in that pillar anymore. And we've replaced it with search engine optimization, Google Maps marketing, Google Ads, content marketing, and social media marketing, and all these things that really work nowadays. Okay. As things stop working, however, we're going to take those out. Okay, so let's talk about our sales now. All right, let's talk about that first problem, the response time. Okay, to me, this is the very easiest thing to fix. All right, this is something that you can take back to your business and implement right now today. All right. Most roofing companies will have a secretary or a receptionist that picks up the phone. Sometimes it's a salesperson. Sometimes it's a call center. If your phone, right, isn't working for whatever reason, or you are not able to pick up the phone, a lot of roofers that I initially work with, they're picking up the phones for their business, right? So the very first thing that you could do is put into place a person that is going to pick up the phone. Now, what do? Right? They need to call back in 5 minutes, right? For all folks that have filled out a form on your website. They have reached out to you on Facebook. They've reached out to you on Google My Business, or now Google Business Profile. But the most important thing that they should do before they even set an appointment for you is they need to qualify the lead. Okay. So how do you qualify leads? Well, this is a system that was taught to me by one of my mentors. He calls it NBAT, N-B-A-T. Okay. It stands for need, budget, authority, and timing. Need is easy. Do we actually can we actually provide what they're asking for? Budget, is it realistic, right? Do they have an actual budget of, $20 to fix their roof? That's probably not going to do it, right? Authority, meaning that, is this someone who is renting and they're calling you? It most likely needs to be the homeowner, right? The person that if we're talking residential, the folks that actually own the house should be calling you, and who you should meet with, and not a renter, right? Timing, do you need help now, or is this sometime in the future that you're just generally thinking about replacing your roof? Those are two different items there. Okay. But anyways, on this first problem, right? If you have someone in place that's taking them through that NBATS script, asking them, okay, great. Yeah. What exactly are you looking for? Okay, well, we don't sell roofing nails. Maybe you should call the roofing supply, place. I mean, we get a lot of those, right? Anything that you sell, you want to make sure that you have the person that is answering the phone is knowledgeable enough about that to be able to put them onto your calendar. Okay, so that's the very first thing. And the other thing on this is make sure that you're calling back any lead that it has to be followed up within 5 minutes or less. Okay, and if you do that, you're going to double your sales right away, because you're the first person, and that's most what all of our roofers tell us, right? Is that they're like, why did I, just curious why you went with us. And most people will say, well, it's because you called me back. Okay. All right. So let's talk about problem number 2 in the sales follow-up. Okay. How do we fix this? Well, we need to follow up at least 8 times, right? That's a no-brainer, right? After we saw that chart, we need to follow up at least 8 times. So this chase sequence that I'm about to share with you is something that was shared with me with another one of my mentors, Mike Cooch, and he calls this the chase. Okay. And the chase is really, really simple. Okay. In the first day, you're going to call, you're going to email or text. Okay. At least 2 of those activities. Most of our roofers, we tell them, well, I would call. If you don't get them, then text them. Okay. And you can do that through, your own phone, but most phone systems nowadays also have a texting feature. Our CRM, the appointment machine, also has all of this kind of built into it. Okay. To where you can do all 3 of those things. Day number 2, same thing. Okay. Mix it up a little bit, maybe text them first, then call. Okay. Day number 3, same thing, call, then text. All right. Day number 4, same thing. Okay. So if you've noticed, this is just a progression. We're just simply going down every single day and calling that person or texting them, and or both of those things. All right. This is the chase sequence. This is what all of your salespeople should be doing. Okay. Hopefully they are not ending up on this day number 1 and moving onward, because you're losing out on sales if that's happening. Okay. Problem number 3, follow-ups, right? Customer follow-ups. This is your database customer service follow-ups. All right. Most roofers, like I said earlier, are afraid to call. They're afraid to call their database, and I don't understand why, other than the fact that they think that it's going to turn into more customer service problems. There's a shingle off or all that kind of stuff. But to me, that's good customer service. Send a crew, dedicate a crew just to doing those types of things, if that's really what this turns out to be. But what you want to do with this is that you want to call your entire database. Okay. You want to do this once a year. Okay. And you want to do it as a customer service call. Hey, Mr. Hunter, my name, wow, this is bad. Hey, Mr. Lazar, my name is Chris Hunter. I work with Aggie Land Roofing, and I'm just calling today just to check in with you and see how things are going. You listen for a minute? Great. Awesome. Well, we can send someone out to go look at that, and it'll probably fall within our warranty. Or if they say no, everything is great, awesome. Well, did you know that we have this other service that we've got a great special on? Maybe you're selling windows, right? If you have inefficient windows, did you know that you're losing a lot of money in just energy just going out of your house? Oh, yeah, you didn't realize we did windows. Okay, great. Can I get someone to come out there and talk to you about that? Awesome. We would love to do that. Second thing that you do, right, on this phone call is you ask for a review. Okay, this is very, very simple. Hey, Mr. Lazar, I noticed that, we did some great work for you. We did 5-star service for you, but you didn't leave us a review on Google. Would you mind doing that? Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you, as soon as we get off this call, I'm going to send you the link that goes directly to our, to our Google My Business. Awesome. Thank you so much. Next thing is that you tell them about your referral program. You have a referral program, right? Hopefully you do. If not, you need one. Okay. Most of our roofers, we recommend that they have a referral program set in place of at least $100 for anyone that refers business to you that turns into a roof. Okay. Now, a $100 gift card to Texas Roadhouse is what we recommend, because there's Texas Roadhouses everywhere, and you can put your logo on the gift card. So it's co-branded Texas Roadhouse and your company logo. It's something great. I recommend $100. You can go upwards from there if you would like, maybe $150. If you're a family like mine with 5 people in it, then you can never go to a restaurant and pay underneath $100. It's just not going to happen in that Texas Roadhouse. That's going to be, $150 to $200 if everyone gets steaks. Okay. So that at least gives someone something in their hand that they can take and they're happy about, right? And that's what you want. You want super happy customers that are referring business over to you. Okay. So set up that referral program and then let them know about that. Hey, Mr. Lazar, did you know that we have a referral program that for everyone that is referred to us that turns into a re-roof, we'll give you $100 gift card to Texas Roadhouse. Awesome. Who do you know that could use our services? Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much. And is there anything else I can help you with? Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. And that's it. It's just a simple script. Okay. All right. Referral partner follow-ups. Okay. So every business has referral partners, every single business out there, right? If you don't, you need to start working on that as well. Okay. And building up your referral partner network. Okay. We learned this from BNI way back in the day. My web design agency was in BNI, and I had a referral program or a referral partner program in place, right? And we got lots of great business from that. Okay. So one of the things that we should always be doing is building our database of these people. Okay. And the other thing is really, we need to be following up with the people who are actually, referring business to us. Okay. And we need to let them know, one, when they do refer business to us, how it's going along the way. Okay. That's a good customer service thing. But the other part is just simply going back through that I say Rolodex, and that ages me, right? But going through your database and calling those people, and it's a different type of call than what most people think that it should be. Okay. Most people think it should be, hey, I'm going to use Mr. Lazar as my Ross here is my services manager, by the way. So I'm going to use him here again, but basically, hey, Mr. Lazar, just wanted to check in, see how things are going. And this is how normally happens. Check how things are going. Hey, do you have anyone that you can send to me? The problem with that is that there's this little thing called with them, right? What's in it for me? Okay. So the approach should be a little bit different than that. All right. It should be more along the lines of, hey, I want to check in with you, see how things are going. And how can I refer business to you? What kind of business are you looking for? Right. So give them something first, give them something of value first. Okay. Let me go back here. And then, but that check-in part is super important. This needs to be happening quarterly. If you've got 10 referral partners, you should be talking to those 10 people every single quarter. They should be on your email list. They should be on your call list. You should be calling them. You should be sending them personal emails. You should know them and like them and follow them on their social media circles. Okay. If they're on Instagram, follow them on Instagram, comment on their stuff every once in a while. Okay. Those types of things need to be happening on a regular basis if you want them to refer business to you. Because if you don't, what happens is that you are no longer top of mind for them. Okay. And when it comes time to that, they have someone to refer, they might end up going with someone else, right? Because someone else is doing all of this and you're not. Okay. All right. So let's talk now about a concept that I read about in a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. As you can see back behind me, if you can see my little thumbnail, I've got a lot of books here. I read at least a book a week. A lot of those are sales books. A lot of them are marketing books, and a lot of them are business books. Well, one of them really struck a chord with me called The Ultimate Sales Machine, and it's written by a guy named Chet Holmes. He came up with this idea of the Dream 100. Okay. So what is a Dream 100? A Dream 100 list in his book is the Dream 100 people that you want to work with. Okay. And Dream 100 companies that you want to work with. These are people that are your ideal customers, your ideal clients. Okay. If you're in residential roofing, that's going to be kind of hard. All right. Unless you have a specific neighborhood, let's say that, that is very high end and you want to target every single person in that neighborhood. But what I'm talking about here today is really about the referral partner program or referral partners, right? Dream 100. Okay. And these are going to be people that are like your past customers that refer a lot of business to you, real estate agents, HOAs, mortgage brokers, and other service companies that come to a house, okay, that even get close to a roof, okay? So these are all types of companies that should be in your database. You should be building this Dream 100 list. So what is a Dream 100 list? Again, it's that Dream 100 people that you want referring business to you in this case, okay? These are people that would be magical if even one of those people referred business to you on a regular basis. Think of a brokerage here, okay? If you become the preferred vendor, right? The preferred roofer for your local Century 21 brokerage or your local Keller Williams brokerage, how much business are you going to get out of that? You're going to get a lot of business, right? So it's this little thing that you should constantly be building. Okay, so the Dream 100, you want to build it, that 100 initial, that's it. Just start right there. Okay, get their name, email address, their phone number, their website, their social profiles. Go and follow them on social, email them to introduce yourself, call them, right? Do all of these activities on a regular basis. Okay. Now don't stop at 100 though. Build it to 300, 400, because eventually some of those folks are gonna drop off. They're gonna say, hey, leave me alone, right? So when they drop off, you replace them with your backup Dream 100, okay? So in his book, he talks about, in his book, Chet Holmes's book, about this concept. He talks about in week 1, you should send out a direct mail piece. Week 2, you should email. Week 3, do social media. Week 4, call. All right. Now, do you have to make 100 of these every single week? Absolutely not. So you break that list up into 25. There's typically 4 weeks every single year or every single month. Sorry. Right. And so the first 25 would get the direct mail. right? And then the next week they would go down into the emails, right? And then the next week after that in social media and call. And you just simply start adding until every single one of these folks are getting a touch every single week. Okay. What do you send out on direct mail? That's a little bit hard, right? With us, it's the ultimate guide to digital marketing for roofers. I send this out, okay, as my lumpy mail piece. All right. If you got one of these randomly in the mail, that's why, because you're on my Dream 100. You are one of my ideal customers, one of my ideal clients that I want to work with. Okay. What else can you send? I've seen all sorts of lumpy mail sent out. I've seen like little trinkets that you go and buy at the dollar store and have a little letter that goes along with it. It could be something as simple as a postcard, but the problem is that postcards get thrown out. I would personally start with a letter sent to that person. It doesn't have to be lumpy, just a nice little letter. Hey, thank you so much for being in our community. I've seen lots of great things about you, and I'd really like to get to know more about your business and how I can refer business to you. Remember, it goes back to that, what's in it for me, right? How can I refer business over to you? Okay, first. So you just simply do this every single week, right? Every single week you're doing one sort of activity. Now, who does this kind of stuff, right? This falls into, a little bit of the marketing, right? But the calls are really on the sales side of things. Okay. But I've seen, we have folks in-house that do it for us. We have emails that are sent out every single week to our entire list. You're most likely in this workshop right now because you're on my Dream 100 list and you get emails from me every single week. That's why, because I want to work with you. Okay. Okay. So moving on from here. So with all of this in mind, remember I talked about our 4R marketing system, right? Because the 4 pillars that I talk about in the marketing system are, reputation, reach, referral, and resell and referral. I came up with this idea that, we could build the same thing for sales. Okay. So let's go through it real quick. All right. We have all 4 of these pillars: reputation, reach, resell, and referral. Your reputation, those are your review calls, right? These are your customer service calls that you're calling back to your database. Okay. Reach, answer your calls, right? Get back with them within 5 minutes, and then follow up that 7 to 8 times using calls, text messages, and emails. Okay. Resell, quarterly calls, right? Making sure that you're reselling to the people and with cross sells and upsells and resells, right? If you've got a list of folks that, let's say that they purchased a roof from you 10 years ago, definitely want to follow up with them again, right? That's an easy one right there. If they bought a roof from you 10 years ago, you should have them on your list and automated for your sales staff to call. Okay. And then referrals, calling on those, that your Dream 100s for those referral calls, right? But it also goes to your referral calls for your customers as well. Okay, I talked a whole bunch here. Any questions about any of this? I'm going to take a drink and pause here a second and unmute yourself, if you will, and ask away any kind of questions that you have.
So I got a quick question here. Seems like a lot overall.
Yes.
Is there an easy way to automate this system, or how do you? What would you recommend to do this? Because like, if I was a business owner myself and I'm on a roof most of the time,
Yeah.
how do I achieve this?
So that's a good question. So we have a CRM in place for all of our roofers that automates probably 90% of this, right? It automates text messages and emails and calls. We can even do, automated calls, voiceless, voicemail. What is that called? I can't remember it now, but basically if they don't pick up, it goes directly into their voicemail, right? So all of this kind of stuff are marketing type activities, and we've automated that for most of our clients. Okay. The hard part becomes the personal touch, right? And if you don't have a sales staff dedicated to doing all of this activity, then you need to hire somebody to do that or do it yourself. That really brings us up into, what I want to talk about next. We do have a program now that we are putting into place. If you're tired of losing those sales and you don't have a system in place to do all of this stuff, if you'd like to free yourself from chasing all of those leads yourself, we're putting in place a new division here at roofingsites.com called our concierge service. So what is concierge service? It's basically a service. It's going to be a person dedicated to your sales that's going to do every bit of what we just went over. They're going to follow up with the leads coming in, the incoming leads, right? They're going to qualify them. They're going to get them on your appointment calendar, right? So that way, and the very first part of that is just simply answering the phone within that first 5 minutes or calling those people back within 5 minutes. Okay. And really the big part of that also is the qualification part. You want to make sure that these are qualified people that are getting on your schedule or your salespeople's schedule, your closer's schedule before they even go to a home to get up on a roof. Okay. The other part is that they're going to do those customer database follow-ups. They're going to customer service calls, right? They're going to ask for, how things are going. They're going to, if you have any upsells that month or anything that you want to focus on, let's say that you're up north, maybe you want to focus on windows, during the slow part of the season, right? I've got lots and lots of roofers up in the Chicago area that their business almost dries up completely during that time. Well, what else can you be selling during that time? What else can you have your sales staff be selling, right? So they call up with those cross sells. They also ask for a review, and they also ask for for a referral. Okay, so those 4 things happen on that customer service call. And then the last thing that they do is they're constantly building this referral Dream 100 database for you. Okay. They are constantly calling those people and texting those people and doing all of the activities for that Dream 100 that you should be doing to build up your referral partner program. That in and alone could easily double, triple, quadruple the sales coming into your business just by doing that one act alone. Okay. But anyways, if this does interest you, book a strategy session with me personally. We'll sit down, we'll go through, what you have in place, and we'll build a plan. So just go to roofingsites.com/schedule to book that strategy session with me. All right, I'm going to go backwards now here because I jumped past this. Our upcoming webinars or workshops for September, I've got one more left in September, and this is on September 30th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's Texas time, if you're not in Texas, by the way. And it's going to be another workshop, but it's going to be how to get 10 to 20 re-roofs with Facebook ads every single month. Okay, so we're going to go through how to set up Facebook ads and how to get in front of your target audience and exactly who your ideal customer is. Let me jump past all that. All right, so you stay till the end. Yay. You get to claim your free book. I'm going to send you a copy of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing. Okay, but you have to do one more thing. Go to go.roofingsites.com, fill in the information there. Really, mainly, I just need to know where to send the book. And you're going to get an autographed copy of this, similar to this right here, where it's autographed by me. And this is going to put this entire blueprint, my knowledge from the past 20 plus years in the marketing industry, digital marketing industry in your hands. Okay. This goes over all sorts of things like search engine optimization, high converting websites, Google My Business ranking, Google ads, Facebook ads, newsletters, email marketing, nurture campaigns, all the kind of stuff that you need to have in place as a roofing company in this day and age. Okay. But you get a copy of that. Just go to go.roofingsites.com. and claim your free copy. And I will send it directly to you probably in the next 7 days. All right. I have a whole bunch of these that I am sending out because my big, hairy, audacious goal again is to help 100 roofing companies double in size by December 31st, 2025. All right. And hopefully that's going to be one of you. All right. Well, I appreciate your time for coming, and feel free to reach out to roofingsites.com. We would love to help you increase your marketing and sales and your leads and all that kind of fun stuff. And have a great weekend, y'all. See ya.